It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielsen, Matt Cassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gate.
Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Two Guys and a Goalie. Nielsen, Cass, and Gage are with you once again, all part of the Nielsen Media CoolBet Network. Brought to you by our partners at CoolBet. Sign up for an account today. Use the code 2GUYS, the number 2 in the word guys. Maybe you want to bet on the Edmonton Oilers over 3.5 goals tonight against the New Jersey Devils, paying -110. If you're looking at a high-scoring game tonight between the Oilers and the New Jersey Devils. Gager, I must say, excellent-looking shirt today, buddy. You're looking tight right now.
Yeah, like I said before, it's game day, Dusty. We gotta start dressing the part here. You know, I should be putting on my CoolBet hat, but little rushed. But we're still looking good, representing Two Guys and a Goalie well. Cass looking like he's from Protecting the Wall.
Yeah, what's going on here, Cass? Like, take the block or what?
That's what's going on. It's cold. It's cold. I'm cold, so I got.
Do you have a thermostat in your household, or what's the deal here? Like,
I'm in the basement. It doesn't matter how hot you make the thermostat. It still will stay cold.
Do you go full Gager? Like, do you take off all your hair or what?
Yeah, totally bald.
Yeah, that's
you know what?
I love it.
Gager's just he's my hero, and I just look up to him. And he is all that I am not as a man. So I thought I'd mimic his look.
Finally,
you know what? Yeah, with the sticker on your hat, it looks like you're already wearing a 2022 World Series hat. That's what it looks like. Does that say 20?
No, it's a.
Oh my God!
Just because they're in the World Series.
Because they're in the World Series.
Man, I don't know about wearing a hat for being in a series. You know, that seems kind of weird to me.
You know what?
If they lose, it'll only remind you of
thinking it's weird.
The loss.
You're weird for thinking it's weird.
I don't know, Gage. Where did you come out on that? Would you wear a Stanley Cup Finals hat just to be in it?
Yeah, that's a great question, Dusty. Because don't they get like a conference champion hat or whatever?
That's right.
And then, that's kind of like, I don't know, that's participation hat, looks like. I don't know if I'd wear that, but I gotta say, Cass, it does fit the ensemble you got going there. So I can't really.
You guys are just jealous.
Where'd you buy that online, or what? How'd you get your hands on this?
It's a birthday present. I got it from my family down in Houston.
Okay.
I can't get
from
behind
Houston. Maybe it's
though.
different.
I can't.
How can't you get behind Houston?
Cheaters.
Oh,
Because
everybody
they cheated miserably
cheats in that game.
Yeah, I don't.
Everybody cheats. They just got caught.
If it wasn't for Nolan Ryan actually playing for have you guys watched the Ryan Express documentary on?
I need to. I've watched the trailer a whole bunch of times.
Oh
and
my
I just
God.
never actually watched it.
I was always a big fan. I don't know why, because I'm not a huge baseball guy, but seemed like I watched Nolan Ryan's things while he played, and his no hitters. Just it's one of the best sports documentaries I've watched.
Really?
Oh wow! He's so old school in the old way of baseball, and just a killer. And the fact that the longevity of him and being in his 40s and getting pissed off that he was taken out of a game, like if he epitomizes a Texan to me, Cass, if anything, just hard nosed, tough as nails, just throwing smoke. And if guys took too long in the box, he's ringing it past their heat. He's awesome. He's just an awesome athlete.
I'll have to check that one out. What's it called again?
I think it's Ryan Express. I don't know.
Ryan Express, okay.
Yeah, something like that. It's great.
Track that thing down. Check it out.
Just great.
Oilers and Devils tonight. Let's quickly get to this game. Then we'll talk about a few of the other things that have sort of popped up since we last chatted. We did a Tuesday episode of Two Guys and a Goalie. Oilers and Devils tonight. Oilers have won 5 in a row. The offense was just deadly on Tuesday night. The Devils roll in here as a team that can score some goals as well, but does allow a few. Cass, you expect the Oilers offense to keep clicking tonight? Like, is this a 5 or 6 goal game as well?
I hope so. It'd be exciting if it was. And they're going to have to tighten up defensively. The New Jersey Devils have been scoring at a clip they've just been scoring way more goals than Nashville. So going to have to tighten up defensively. But on the offensive side, we could see a couple tonight. Could be fun.
the betting total over at Coolbet 7. You don't see a lot of 7s. You see a lot of 6s. You see some 6.5. You get a 7. Gager, Stuart Skinner's going to start tonight. I guess the Devils team that's scoring 3.6 goals per game. What are you expecting from him here? Still very early into the season. Still very early overall in his National Hockey League career.
Geez, it's weird. I expect more of the same. This as a goalie, you just his confidence is at a really high level, and the way that he's winning games, I really liked his last game against the Flames, where throughout the course of that game, being down a goal and keeping your team within striking distance with some really good saves, just solid goaltending, and have that mental toughness to stay with it, then get ahead and lock it down too. That's an amazing, like, he's really showing the coaching staff and basically everyone that he's a very capable NHL goalie. It's the ability is there. So I think it's just all about keeping these guys rolling. They're 5 straight wins. He's playing great, and this will be a good test, because this kind of looks to me like a little bit of the Buffalo Sabres game, right? Hopefully the Oilers don't wait to see how New Jersey plays, and just focus on their own play, right? I think that's a key for tonight, or else it could get into a shootout, and you never know with a young team like that. They could really go nuts.
Boys, we haven't had a chance to talk since Tuesday's game, which was wild game, very entertaining to watch. Cass, I know Tommy was getting really frustrated at the postgame show, people being all concerned about Jack Campbell. Do you see where people would be coming from with the concern for Jack Campbell, or is it absolutely 100% ridiculous?
Well, they keep winning, so that's where I'm
5-2 with him in the net.
They're winning. So he's made as many saves as he's needed to make. So I don't know. I'm not freaking out. I think it's overblown. Again, like if there were game-breaking goals going in and the Oilers were losing, I would say, okay, fully justified. But not when you're winning. Not when you're winning. So why are you freaking out about it?
Major, where do you come out on this?
The first goal. If we look at it, Leon lets his guy go.
Yeah,
Campbell doesn't do enough with that puck. But as from a goaltending, I don't know if he felt. Sometimes it takes a while to feel comfortable, and you make a save and try to get the puck away from you.
What should he have done that one, Jay? Just eat it?
Well, he should have just stopped it and ate it, right? But I think he just wanted to get it away, and he wasn't aware of the whole situation, or guaranteed he wouldn't have. He probably had a look or a glance and saw Leon and Ekholm kind of side by side, thinking he had more time to do what he did. But Terry Jones, that goal goes in, and he says, "Start the goalie controversy." I'm like, is he kidding? I don't know what that even means. Like, it's crazy, because the Oilers just went nuts after that. And Campbell settled down and made some good saves in that first period. Like, it's to have one goal go again. And granted, he did make a mistake, but there was another mistake on the play. But it's, to Cass said it, the most important stat, although his stats look more like mine did right now, but the most important one is the win column.
That is the most important one. But he hasn't played well, so far. But they've been winning. So we'll see how it plays out. I think you just, like, if this is Jack Campbell that you're going to get this year, then that's not good. But you have to think that there's a better Jack Campbell there.
That would be great if he won the Vezina with the goals against of 3.9.
But he's not going to win the Vezina with his current
55
numbers.
Wins, he will.
Okay, but
no, he won't though. That's the thing. Like,
let's just say you're playing in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and you have the exact same, whoever you're playing against, exact same game happens, and you win the hockey game. Are we going to sit and complain about his goaltending?
I just don't know if it's sustainable to say you're winning the playoffs with a 870 and a 4 goals against average. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna need better than that. Like, would you tell me right now the Oilers going to the playoffs, Stuart Skinner's hurt? Are you confident that Jack Campbell takes them to a Stanley Cup final?
I'm not.
You guys
I'm not freaking out about it. I'm not freaking out about it. Like I'm not overly concerned at this point.
Well, it's 10 games in, but if we're talking playoffs and he's doing the same thing, then wouldn't your level of concern change a little bit?
Winning, Dusty. You just keep winning. Like, it doesn't matter what your goals against is if you keep winning.
I mean, it kind of does. Like,
what do you mean?
Is your team going to score 5 goals every single game?
Well, if they do, then you got room to let a couple in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
don't know. I mean, if the Oilers score well, that means you can just be shit. You might as well kept Koskinen and Smith around. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
I don't know.
It's like Toretto says, whether you win by an inch or you win by a mile, it's still a win.
Winning's winning. Yeah.
You know what?
You never
they're going to lose 6-5 here at some point, and we're going to have this discussion again. I think he's just settling in. I think that's normal. Gager, is that like? I don't know. I don't expect every goalie to go to his new place and shut it down right away.
I think there's a little bit of probably squeezing the paddle a little bit too hard, Dusty. He coming to Edmonton. There's been talk all summer long about it being a cup contender. He wants to perform at a very high level. There's probably a little bit of goalie angst, I guess you would say, to really perform and prove yourself. He's just got to get out there and just play his game, and like Woodcroft kind of says, just little increments. Look to the next save. Don't try to make 20 saves off of one save. Just little bits at a time to get his feet under him. It's only a matter of time, I think, Dusty. He's too technical not to have a really good game soon here. And I think you mentioned it, Cass, on the pre and post, how the Oilers, if you really look at it, they haven't played that well in front of them yet. Like, they haven't played half as good as they've have with Skinner in net. So,
but the analytics gauges say that Skinner has faced more high danger chances than Campbell.
I mean, the stats do say that Skinner has faced more high danger chances, right?
Hold on, Dusty. Who's generating the stats?
The stats websites? I mean, the people who track every single play in the game?
How are they generating those scoring chances?
I don't know. They're not making them up.
They look at where a shot came from on the ice. They're not looking at situation. They're not looking at prior play. They're not looking at player missing assignment on the ice. They don't look at that. Those are automatically generated scoring chances. These aren't the ones that the teams use. They're not the ones that they're computer generated. They're not sitting watching every game with the same person watching both Skinner and Campbell and having a set method of evaluation determine what is and what isn't a scoring chance. So that's my bad analytics versus actual analytics bit.
What were we talking about? We were talking about Stuart Skinner and Jack Campbell. Skinner's going to start tonight. If Skinner plays well tonight, would you guys start him against Dallas on Sunday and then split the back-to-backs? Rashad was discussing this on my show this morning.
It's already predetermined who's playing.
Campbell's going to play Saturday, and then they'll split the Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, whatever it is, who knows? Maybe Campbell's playing the next two. I don't know, but I guarantee over this whole homestand, Woodcroft already has penciled in which goalie's starting which game. So whatever that may be,
play's not changing that, right?
It's
too early to do that.
He said this in one of his interviews where he doesn't want to paint himself into a corner with the goalies, saying this is this guy's game. Or if he plays well, like he's done this behind the scenes, and they already know. It doesn't matter how well Skinner plays tonight. If he was slotted to play the next game, he's going to do it anyway, I think.
All right, one other thing coming out of that last game. Big win, obviously. Kane, Draisaitl, McDavid. Ridiculous. Niemelainen in that game went to kill Ekholm. Ekholm went down. Niemelainen went over top of him. End of the game, Jesse Puljujarvi with a hit that certainly wasn't dirty or vicious in any stretch, but late in the game, that's over. There's no doubt about it. I mean, people are going to be pissed off in that situation. Cass, what do you think of those two situations, and I guess how they were handled?
Well, handled by who? By Nashville? I mean, Nashville was frustrated. They were getting scored on late in the game. They're getting beat. And so they have an emotional reaction to what maybe normally they wouldn't have an emotional reaction to. The Niemelainen hit, you have one of their guys right there. Situationally, you don't necessarily see the whole play. You just see the end result of both guys on the ice. So you maybe thought it was a lot worse than it was. And so you're going to go stand up for your teammate. Like, I don't know. I don't have a problem with Nashville's reaction. I don't have a problem with Edmonton's reaction in either of those situations. I love that Niemelainen went to throw the hit. Great. And you can kind of see like he's anticipating Ekholm might not be able to see him because there's a body in the way, like when he swings through. And Puljujarvi's just finishing his hit. Again, that one wasn't even a huge hit. It just materialized and he was right there. So he finished his check. So
where do you come out though on people saying, well, those guys are going to have to drop the gloves if they keep doing this type of stuff?
Well, Niemelainen at some point, if he keeps hitting guys, well, yeah, someone's going to try to fight him because he absolutely crushes guys. Puljujarvi, if he's big and physical, he's a big guy. Well, yeah, maybe at some point going to have to drop the gloves. Now, is it like a situation where he's going to be forced into it? I don't think he should drop him just to drop him. But if someone grabs him and starts throwing, well, yeah, you're going to have to defend yourself. So I mean, you have to, if you're playing a physical game, and it's way less now than it used to be, but you have to be aware that someone might take exception and someone might try to fight you. You don't have to go looking for it. You don't have to instigate the fight, but just know that that's there. And even more so, if you can draw a penalty in that from someone coming at you, even better. So don't change your game. Defend yourself, stick up for your teammates, play with that wolf pack mentality of being there for each other. And even if you're just grabbing a guy, you don't have to fight anybody. But keep playing that physical way. I mean, I love the hits, even though those weren't crazy big ones or anything.
Gager, what do you think of it in the, not even a follow, but I guess the discussion that's popped up online after that?
Look, both guys aren't quote unquote fighters, but I think they're strong enough to drop their gloves and hold on and wrestle a guy and hang on, right? So I think that should be done. The Niemelainen hit, he didn't even hit. Was it Ekholm or was it?
Yeah, it was Ekholm. He bailed on it.
He bailed on it. So it looked way worse than it was. And to tell you the truth, I love the fact that Niemelainen doesn't fight, because if he
piss people off even more,
it's gonna drive them even, like they're gonna go look for him to fight him, right? And the Puljujarvi hit, Struddy had a really good little thing. Like he didn't like the hit because it got the Predators, gave them the opportunity to do something late in the game that other people would have been dragged into it and into a fight or something, because Struddy talked about how some guys that would do this at the end of the game and he'd have to go fight some guy to stick up for his teammates, when in his own words, he was already at the Roxy having a few beers because they were up by 5, right? So it's the timing of the hits. But to me, I think you finished the game. Like, I don't care. It's a 60-minute game. Playing the scoreboard with physical play, I think you have to do the full 60 minutes. So once you start going half speed, you get injured. So yeah, running up the score and putting out your best, your number one power play at a 5-goal lead with 2 minutes left, that's a little bit much. But I agree with Struddy a little bit, but on the other hand, I like to finish the whole game. Man, you never know what happens down the line, right? You establish this winning attitude and get into the other team's heads that they can't beat you.
I just was looking while you were talking there. I looked up Nicholas Kronwall's page on hockeyfights.com, and I don't know if I'm missing something, but I don't think he had one. Like I'm looking at, like, I'm trying to find his list like you would on any other player's page, and it's just at the top, it just has NHL fights, and then it says back to Nicholas Kronwall's main player page. Like there's nothing there. And this is a guy who killed people for a decade, and I don't think he got one ever. So must have been a few scrums along the way, but unless I'm missing something,
Did I ever tell you my Kronwall
Doesn't
story?
look like this. No, you never told us that.
So when I played in Sweden, he was on my team as a young kid. He had just been drafted by Detroit.
Okay.
So we played the torpedo system, so he was kind of like a forward on D, and he still blew guys up on the big ice, which I was impressed because he was like 180 pounds. He wasn't a big guy at all. But the one time I remember, because we were working out, because you just work out like fiends there, and we were doing cleans, and he was really strong and did everything proper and stuff. But I remember I was standing beside him, and he did a clean, and he did it so quick that he hit the bar on his chin and knocked himself out. I thought he killed himself. I ran over there, and he was out cold on the mat. But I'd never seen a guy like, everything he did was hard. He hit so hard he had knocked himself out. But that was the one thing that I always remembered about Nick. Great guy, great kid. He was awesome.
All right, so let's go to Austin Matthews, because we talked about Puljujarvi, and this was different. Austin Matthews had something different last night. Once again, the Leafs needed a win. They got it. They're up in a good spot. He's sparring back and forth with Konechny. Giordano comes flying in there, takes him down. Mike Rupp had a great breakdown of this. He was not happy with what he saw from Austin Matthews. Cash, you watched it right before we started this episode. I mean, there's dropping the gloves and fighting somebody, and then there's grabbing somebody and kind of getting in their face a little bit. Like, at least Jesse Puljujarvi faked it. At least faked it. Like, at least he didn't look down and hide from this situation. What do you think of Austin Matthews with everybody else on the ice defending you, and you're like doing everything you can to avoid it?
Yeah, I if you're Austin Matthews, you don't need to fight. You need to score goals. So I get the avoidance and not wanting to engage. However, when you got like four guys in it, the linesman in there, and the looking down and away and the limp noodle, as Rupp put it, that to me, I'm just like, okay, like clearly, and I can't remember who the player was that skated in there from Philly, but it's like, just grab the guy and hold on to each other. Like, you don't have to face wash him, you don't have to hit him. Just grab a guy. Just make sure that he doesn't get in on that pile, that there's not more of them than there are of you. And make it look like you're doing something for your teammates, or look like you're at least engaged in the moment. And I mean, it was just the second one, like when
the last one,
the last one too. Then when it's just like, okay, now you're engaging and you give a guy a shot. Same thing. I don't expect you to fight, and I get giving him the shot. You create space. You don't want to have to fight him. You can have someone else come in at the time. Totally get it. But it does. It does not look fantastic, I would say. It does not look fantastic for the other guys, or more so the guys on the bench who are just kind of like, okay, like, grab somebody, do something. With that being said, is it a sign that dressing room is divided, or they don't have faith in each other? I don't know if I'd go that far.
I mean, they all came to his rescue, if you want to call it that, right? Like, they were there for him.
They were there, and they didn't hesitate. No one else was disengaged in the situation. But I mean, yeah, I get where it's just not a great optic. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go quite as aggressively as Rupper on that in terms of commentary, but it just looks bad.
Gager, is it anything more than a bad look?
It's not Hart Trophy worthy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The thing that when I saw that because when guys do that and kind of expect other players to fight their battles for them, it's okay in this situation, I think. But if that kind of behavior keeps happening throughout the season, where you just skate away while you wait for other guys to come and defend you, guys are going to get tired of that, right? Like, he's a leader on that team. Once in a while, he's going to have to show that he's as engaged as all his other teammates are. So if one of his teammates gets pushed around, he's the first one in there. You can't keep doing this, because your players are going to, your teammates are going, look, man, you can't, if you're going to keep doing this, I can't be fighting all these guys and doing your own battles. You're going to have to do it yourself, or stop that crap. So it's okay for now, but he's got to watch himself a little bit, I think.
All right, one more story to get to before we wrap this episode of Two Guys and a Goalie. And once again, if you're watching on the live stream or on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Just search Two Guys and a Goalie on all your podcasting platforms. We were talking about a couple episodes ago, the Ottawa Senators possibly for sale. Well, now actor and Canadian Ryan Reynolds has been linked as to possibly being interested in buying the Ottawa Senators. Cass, this would be great for the league, wouldn't it, if you get Ryan Reynolds involved? I think that'd be awesome, especially for Ottawa.
Yeah, great for the league, great for optics, and he's a Canadian. So you would hope that he would commit to keeping them in Ottawa and keeping the team a Canadian team, which would be amazing. So I was pretty excited when I had that. Now, who knows? Like, he probably would have to pull a group together. I don't know if it'd be just him in on it, but if he's the majority owner, or even if he's a part of it, I mean, it's just it kind of
be the face of it, right? So
right. I mean, just like Mario with Pittsburgh, where it was just like, he wasn't necessarily the only owner and the only person going in, but to have, let's call it a reliable Canadian face of the group. And what I mean by reliable is just like very public. A lot of people know him. A lot of people like him. I think it'd be great. It'd be great. How much you want to bet they get a rink deal done with him leading that group? So I don't know. I hope that's true and it materializes. It'd be awesome.
The rink's already sponsored by Marvel, the Marvel Arena, the Deadpool. There's so many possibilities. Hugh Jackman's got to buy the Canucks then, because then Reynolds, like, he buys his home team, the rivalry there. That would be fantastic. I think it's a great idea. Unbelievable.
Are you guys big Ryan Reynolds guys?
Massive.
I love him.
I like him.
I love him.
Yeah. One of my most favorite.
It's not like I watch every movie he's done, but every movie I've watched with Ryan Reynolds, I really enjoy.
Yeah, you usually enjoy it. One of my favorite Christmas movies, one of the more underrated ones, is a Ryan Reynolds movie, Just Friends. So good.
I think you've mentioned that in the past. Yeah,
it's such a good movie. Some great lines in that movie. I love that one.
Oh, I've seen the previews to his new one with Will Ferrell. It's kind of a remake of Christmas Carol. So that looks amazing. I mean, it's funny. If I throw on a movie and my wife is like, "Oh, what's this?" If she sees Ryan, "Oh, this looks good." So,
of course it does.
Yeah,
it's Ryan Reynolds.
She likes him, I think, a little bit more than me, but it's a high level.
Yeah, he comes across as one of the most successful dudes of all time. Like, married to Blake Lively, who's amazing as well. Has the soccer team, just sold the gin company, and he's hilarious. I got Deadpool back, essentially, made that thing happen. So, yeah, I hope he gets it. I hope the Sens make this happen with him in an ownership group. I think that'd be absolutely amazing for the league. I want to see him sit down as Deadpool and interview Gary Bettman. That's the end goal out of all of this. That would be bloody incredible.
That'd be great.
Can you imagine that? Oh, God, please make that happen. All right. That's going to do it for another episode of Two Guys and a Goalie. Prediction for tonight, guys. What do you think happens? Oilers make 6 in a row here or what?
Yeah, 7-1 win Edmonton.
I'm going to go 6-4 Edmonton. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be fun to watch. There's going to be some pretty unique plays, and I think we're going to see Soupies. The soup's going to be warm tonight. I'm going to predict a really good game from Jack Campbell, even though he allows 4.
Skinner's starting, though.
Oh, Skinner.
It's the whole soup and stew thing. What are you doing, right? It's understandable. All right, there you go. Hey, we're saying bet the over, I guess. Over at Cool Bet. It's 7, but we're expecting a few goals in this hockey game. So it should be a fun one. Cool Bet, the presenting sponsor, Two Guys and a Goalie. Have a great weekend, boys. We'll be back on Monday with another episode.
Later.